Hello, everyone. This is MMA Interesting Prospects podcast. Today, our guest is Anthony Strapp, who will fight on Fury FC 99 December 15th. Hello, Anthony. How are you?
Good, good. Thanks for having me. Yep, excited. A week out, pretty much done all the hard stuff. So just worrying about the cutting weight and getting up there. So yeah, thank you for reaching out.
Thank you for taking the invitation. And I think that overall, the fighter that you will face right now, like the step up from the fighter that you've faced lately, because of course he finished your opponent. You finished your first opponent quite quickly, and was a really impressive fight. But what do you think about Hall as the like opponent?
Yeah, so I believe it's a step up. The only thing is though so it might say like on the Tapology that I'm fighting Kamiko Hall, but he pulled out actually a couple weeks ago. So now I'm fighting Anthony Valenzuela. His um his record's 3-3, so the Kamiko Hall was 1-0. I don't know what happened, to be honest. I just he pulled out. Don't know what happened with the fight, but I just want to stay on the card, so they got me another opponent. From what I've seen from him, he likes to strike and wrestle. So I believe he'll probably be trying to engage in some grappling in the fight, so I've just been preparing for that.
And when did you find out about this change?
I'd say like 3 weeks ago, is when I found out that he pulled out. Again, I wasn't really given a specific. I would assume that he probably got injured. Because he seems like a guy who would want to fight. So I don't want to say any. I would assume he got injured.
And actually, I'm like googling the him right now, and I think that he might be actually be a even better fighter because he's a 3-3, but overall he got I think that two good wins in the
Yeah,
Fury. So I think that in the end it might be he's a little bit like more of the veteran type because of six fights, but
yeah,
but I think that he might be a little bit like a bigger challenge for you.
yeah. I believe so too. Yeah, he has the experience. He's been there with some good guys, and yeah, he's very dangerous on the ground. A lot of his wins are by submission. So, if he can get you there, he seems like he knows what he's doing there, and he's very dangerous. So I'm taking it very serious.
And overall, I think that sometimes this is a problem on the like regional scene that fighters are pulling up from the fight, and sometimes it's just few days to your fight, and you don't know if even you will be in the cage.
Yeah, yeah. Like honestly, I've been having a very big issue with this. I pretty much signed with Fury last December, and I've only had one fight so far. And that was in June. And it's just been a lot of having signing the fight guys, some certain guys pulling out. It's been a little hard, but just trying to stay focused because I really view Fury as a very good promotion in terms of getting guys to the UFC. So I'm really trying my best to still fight for them as much as I can. Just trying to get the fights I can. You know what I mean?
So probably this year you would like to have more fights than just what you had.
Yeah, for sure. Like I like to stay active. I mean, if I could, I would fight every month if no injuries and stuff. I would like to do that. I would like to stay active.
And like watching your fights is like obvious that you are a very good striker because of all of your knockouts. But did you have like before MMA? Did you have like any kind of striking background, like maybe boxing, maybe Muay Thai?
I started with kickboxing. I started training at Hawaii Elite MMA with kickboxing. A main guy who helped me was a guy named Joe Bird. He helped pretty much develop my striking. But yeah, I started with a kickboxing base, but I started during COVID, so I couldn't really fight like in the actual events and stuff. So we actually did like a lot of smoker things where you just kind of go in there with people from other gyms, and I got a lot of experience doing that. Really taught me a lot of things. If you first seen me compete, you probably wouldn't expect me to do as good. It was a rough start, but I just kept sticking with it, and just been getting a little better over time. So yeah, I started with kickboxing. That was the first thing I did.
And did you thought like ever about like being like pro kickboxer that you would like to decide to go this like route?
No, I always wanted to do MMA. I knew that that's what I wanted to do. I never really thought about pro kickboxing. I just started with the striking part because I that's the side I like the more in terms of MMA, like seeing the stand-up guys. But I always knew I wanted to do pro MMA, so that's why even as I was doing the kickboxing, I always was doing grappling too because I've always wanted to do MMA. That was always the goal.
And how do you feel about your grappling?
I feel like obviously my strong point is my striking, but my grappling is his has gone a lot better, and I feel like I'm getting very very good there too. So I feel comfortable wherever the fight goes, pretty much. Um, Wherever it goes, I feel comfortable. Obviously, my preference would be to finish it on the feet, but I have no problem engaging in grappling as well.
And I think that overall, like the fans like this kind of style, like sprawl and brawl, when you like defend takedown attempt and still you going for the like finishing the stand up. So I think that this is the probably the most favorite style for the fans.
Yeah, for sure. It seems like yeah, that's what the fans like to see is more guys who go out there and try and get the finish on the feet. Really, and even with the grappling, more just trying to finish on the ground too. They just like to see guys who go for finishes, you know.
Yes, but definitely for now you are this kind of guy because as the like amateur you almost you finished almost off all of your opponents, so it means something.
Yeah, it does. I try and be as aggressive as I can. I try to be an exciting fighter as much as I can. I want people when they see me fight, like, oh, I want to see his next fight. I want to keep up with what he's doing. You know, that's kind of the impression I want to leave on people who see me fight.
And do you think about like UFC as the your like ultimate goal that in a few years you would like to be in the UFC and then go to the like ranked position?
Yeah, the UFC is obviously the main goal. And it also is not for me. It's not just about going to UFC. It's climbing the ranks and eventually getting the belt. That's something I do want to do. And I feel like if you're doing this sport and it's not what your goals is, you're kind of in the wrong sport because this is not it's not like playing a soccer game or a basketball game. You're going in there and you're fighting, you know. So if you don't believe and you don't want to achieve the best, I don't feel like this is a sport you should do. So yeah, the UFC is on my mind as much as possible. I think about it a lot. So that is the goal for sure.
Do you have in your mind the plan for next few years that maybe 1 year from now you would like to be in this position and like 2 years later in some other? Do you have this kind of plan?
Yeah, I'm hoping that so as long as I can stay active and get as much fights as I can, I'm hoping that either in a year or two, I would hopefully get a call for the contender series or maybe like a short notice fight for the UFC because I'm a pretty much a guy who stays in the gym. I try not to get out of shape, so short notice fights is not a problem for me as well. So yes, I do feel like in like a year or two, I would like to be like getting a chance from the UFC and showing how good I am and showing what I can do in there.
So in the perfect world in 2025, how many fights would you like to have?
In a perfect world, like being realistic, of course, I would say like 5 fights would be like something I would like to do. If like just on the shorter side of I would like to do more, but I'm trying to be as realistic. I'm hoping 5 fights in 2025 would be something we could do.
And I think that overall you are in like a great like place to fight in because I think that for now Fury FC might be the best regional promotion. They have so many talents like flyweights, bantamweights, featherweights. Actually, it's sometimes in my opinion, sometimes their cards are better than the UFC. Like when it's like Apex show, the Fury
Yeah.
FC cards are like crazy. So I think that it is a like really good place to be in.
Yeah, like Fury, for sure. Like they've been taking over to the scene. They've got a lot of guys going into the UFC now. I've seen a lot of their athletes going into the UFC, and yes, the cards they put on are good. It's just they match them up real good. I feel like they try and match their best prospects with each other. So I really enjoy fighting for Fury. I want to fight as much as I can for them. They seem like a very good promotion. I feel very blessed that I was able to make my pro debut with them. I know that they're really big in terms of the regional scene. So I just feel blessed to be able to fight for them.
And if you can tell me more about your current gym and the maybe if you have like any kind of prospects like you, the young fighters that are hungry and you know that in few years they will be in a very good position to be like in the UFC.
Yeah, so I train here at Hawaii Elite, and I train at other places too here in Hawaii. In Hawaii, you try and train as much as you can, but my main gym is Hawaii Elite. Um, Again, my striking was from Joel. He's a guy too who I believe could be in the UFC right now. He's that good. Joe Bird, he's a guy to look out for. In terms of guys coming up with me, there's a guy named Nainoa. He's been one of my main training partners. We kind of pretty much started together. He should be fighting pretty soon. I hope he gets some fights too. He's having problems with it too, but he's a guy too. I feel like will be someone everybody will be looking at pretty soon too, because he's real good, man. I get better every time I go with him. He helps me a lot, especially for a lot of my fights. He's been one of my main sparring partners, so I want to give a shout out to him. He's probably someone you'll probably be trying to interview, and everybody will be looking for his name too.
I think that it is very good to train with the person with the same position, like on the beginning of his career with a lot of potential, because I think that it helps. It's like the synergy. It helps to grow as the team as and both you as the fighters.
Yeah, it is like you want to I always like, I tell myself and tell some other people too who ask about fighting, like if you're in a place where you're beating everybody up and you're the best guy, you're in the wrong place. You want to be with other lions too, you know what I mean? Other guys who are good, other guy who's gonna push you, because that's really what's gonna push you. If you're just going in there and you're doing good every day, you're not gonna really be have that motivation to push yourself past certain points. So when you're going with guys like that, it really helps. And also too, like of course I've been training other places and getting help from some of the guys who've done it. Like Martin Day is a guy who's been in the UFC before he's fought for them. He's a guy who I take a lot of inspiration from. He was one of the guys when I first started training I looked up to a lot. Recently been training with Max over there. He's been helping me a lot too. So I'm really getting a lot from all these Hawaii guys or guys who've done it, who's been there, done it, still doing it, just trying to get as much knowledge as I can.
Yes, and Max is like such a legend. He fought against who is who. Of course, he's like recently his Justin Gaethje fight. I think that this moment can go to Hall of Fame. The last 10 seconds, I think it is crazy, and it's like cool to see because like on the beginning stage of his UFC career, he got some like 2 or 3 losses, something like this, and then he built like incredible winning streak, defeated who is who to be honest.
Yeah, yeah, he's a legend for sure, man. Everybody in Hawaii loves him. He's the pride of Hawaii for sure, man. He's a guy. He's a real legend for sure. Everybody looks up to him over here. He's the man.
And you said that you train that you are train a lot, and because of that, do you feel sometimes kind of burnout feeling that you are like beaten up, maybe tired, something like this?
Yeah, of course, when you're training all the time, there's gonna be certain points where you feel tired and body's a little beaten up. And of course, this is a combat sport, so of course, little injuries happen here and there. But it's something I love to do. So I try whenever I do feel those unmotivated days or some days where I'm just super tired, I tell myself, man, there's someone else somewhere in the world, somewhere in a different country, different state training right now while you're not, you know what I mean? And that gets me right up and gets me right to the gym because I always like I said, Martin was one of my main inspirations. He always said from the first day, like, you stay ready so you don't gotta get ready. And I take that from him all the time. I try and stay ready so you don't gotta get ready. If I get a short notice call, I wanna be ready, you know what I mean? I don't want to be like, oh man, I wasn't training in the past couple months, but let me just take no, I want to be okay. I've been in the gym. I feel confident taking this short notice fight. That's why I try and stay in the gym as much as I can, even pushing past those days where you feel tired. Because I'm human. Everybody has those days. There's days where I don't feel like going to the gym, but especially when you get to professional level, it's a job at this point. So you got to push through it.
So after the fight, how quickly you go to the gym? Like Monday?
Yeah, like if I have no injuries, I'll be back there Monday. Like as long as I'm feeling, I don't got like nothing hurt from the fight, I'm back in there Monday. I know some people take a week off, but just for me, I try and stay as much as I can in there.
Of course you are like training clothes, but when you have some free time, like outside of MMA, do you what do you like to do in your free time?
I'm a really chill guy. I like to watch movies, hang out with friends and stuff. I really like to eat food, so going out trying new things and trying food is something I like to do. I live in Hawaii, so of course there's a lot of outdoor things to do. There's hikes, there's beaches, stuff like that. So when you live in Hawaii, there's not too much there's not a short of things to do in terms of with nature and outside. So of course I like to do those things and I really just chill pretty much. I'm not too doing too much. I don't really party or nothing like that. I try and stay out of trouble as even in my free time. So I stay pretty dedicated as much as I can.
I think that is kind of advantage to be in this kind of place that you are not like in the super big city with a lot of like buildings, companies, and everything like this,
Yeah.
but you are like surrounded by nature and you can like reset your head and not thinking about anything.
Oh yeah, it's super peaceful, man. Whenever you can just sit on the beach, go for, some people surf. I don't really, I'm not too good at surfing, but I'll go to the beach, enjoy some time there, get in the water. Just kind of relax you, but it helps heal the body too. And then going on hikes, I love just smelling the fresh air. Once you get to the top, and you look down at the view, man, it's real cool. It's something I suggest for a lot of people to do. If they ever come to Hawaii and visit, go on a hike, go to the beach, enjoy what Hawaii has to offer.
And except training, do you also like spend time on like the mental game? Like maybe do you use some like breathing technique or visualization technique?
I use a lot of visualization, a lot of manifesting. I visualize a lot, and I don't just visualize like the good things. I do also visualize the bad things that can happen in a fight, so that I accept it and that it's not overwhelming me during fight day. Like I visualize, okay, I go in there and I finish the guy. I visualize I go in there and I get finished. I visualize both sides, so there's not too much, and I kind of accept that fact, and it's in my mind that okay, if this guy does hurt me or he does do something and I face adversity, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna push through it? And it just helps me mentally get through it. And I'm not overthinking about it. So I do a lot of visualization. It's something that I do a lot, especially the closer I get to a fight, man. It's just a lot of things going through my mind in terms of how the fight will play out, my walkout, even things like that, my walkout, the music. I visualize a lot of that stuff.
And few hours to the fight, do you like to like listen to music like to zone out yourself, or you prefer to like other way to spend time?
Yeah, I don't really listen, like put my headphones. I don't really do that too much. I pretty much just, relax on fight day, a couple hours before the fight. I'm really just laying down, just kind of chilling. If, usually I'm there with people I know, so I like to joke around. I like to kind of just talk and, just act like it's a normal day. That kind of gets me mentally there, you know what I mean? And just not overthinking about it too much where, it's like, oh my gosh, I'm about to go fight, I'm about to go fight. It's like, okay, I'm just joking, cracking jokes, talking regular, being as calm as I can be because, once you're in there, the adrenaline's gonna kick in. You're gonna feel those nerves or whatever, but try not to overdo it and get myself overwhelmed with it. It helps me a lot. So like when I'm cracking jokes, when I'm smiling, when I'm laughing, I feel like that's when I'm the best before going into a fight.
Yes, probably the overthinking can be like a problem because you will go to the cage like super stressed, and you may like be like paralyzed a little bit.
Yeah, you see like a lot of guys you see a lot of guys, man, that they get super nervous before fights and they overthink a lot and it's just sometimes it psychs themselves out because there's some guys, man, you know how good they are. You see how good they are, but then sometimes when they go out and fight, it doesn't show just because of the nerves. That's literally the only thing that holds them back sometimes is just the overthinking. And it's hard to see, so I try and take from that like, okay, as much as I can, try not to be put in that position.
And overall, do you like to watch UFC or overall MMA fights?
Yeah, I like to watch MMA fights. I like watching a lot of I like watching grappling, striking matches. I like watching MMA. I keep up with the sport pretty much. I'm not like a diehard fan where I'm watching every single fight, but I watch a lot of fights. I do, and I take a lot of things from a lot of athletes and stuff. And sometimes I see something in a fight, oh, that looks nice. I'll try it in sparring the next day or stuff like that. Oh, that takedown he did look really slick. I might try that in a grappling round whenever I'm rolling and stuff. So I try and watch a lot of stuff and. I use it in my game as well because I feel like that you can never stop learning and learning things from other guys. There's nothing wrong with that. You can take things from guys and it helps you in your overall game.
And actually, right now I'm reading the Jorge Masvidal book, and of course he is like super known because of his flying
Yeah.
knee victory over Ben Askren. And do you have this kind of like knockout that you would like to win your fight with?
Um, so I've always wanted to hit a flying knee on somebody. That's one of the things. Of course, seeing that I saw that one live, and that was really cool. But honestly, one I would like to get, I've never really put someone down with a punch, like just a one shot punch knockout. That would be something I'd like to do. I want to feel how that feels to put someone down with just a one punch, whether it be a right hand or a hook, just like a one shot one punch KO would be something that I would like to feel.
So maybe your in your next fight it will be like good time to use any kind of this one punch knockout power, let's say.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, man. If I could get that, that would be beautiful. I'm just going in there to be smart and fight my fight, you know. Don't get too old, don't try and do something too crazy. But yeah, of course, if I see that there, man, I would love to get that finish.
And overall, who is your like favorite fighter to watch right now from the UFC?
I'm from the UFC, of course. I'm from Hawaii, so of course, like a guy like Max is someone I love to watch a lot. He's someone who inspires me a lot. Someone from not from Hawaii. The obviously Poatan Alex Pereira. He's one of the most exciting guys for me to watch too, man. His striking is beautiful. He's someone I like to watch for sure.
And I think that it's quite interesting fact because he was when he went to the UFC, like people consider him as the just kickboxer, and of course he had like a little bit easier way to get to Adesanya because they fought, but overall he defeated so many former champions or
Yeah.
champions, so it's kind of crazy that he made the debut like 3 years ago in the UFC, and he beat so many champions, and he's a two division world champion.
Yeah, he's real good, man. Like, yeah, he came in and from his debut to the title fight was fast, but I mean, if he's beating the guys, there's nothing really you can say. He's beating all the top guys now, you know. He's defending the belt at light heavyweight multiple times. He's been in so many top names, so he's doing it fast, but he's doing it the right way. He's going out there, he's putting on exciting fights, and he's starting a lot of real big names.
And I think that also he's right now the BJJ black belt. Of course, it's like not super seen in the UFC, but in the end, he is.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, you know, he hasn't had to showcase it, but of course if you're doing this sport and to be at that top level, you cannot not have any grappling. You know what I mean? It's like if he had no grappling, it would have been exposed by now, you know? It he's the champion for a reason. He hasn't had to showcase it, but I guarantee he's in the gym working tirelessly on his grappling every day. You know what I mean? And he hasn't had to showcase it because his striking is just so good, but I can guarantee that he knows what he's doing on the ground as well.
And do you have the bucket list? So the list of the things that you would like to like accomplish or achieve, either in MMA or like overall in your personal life. And if you can share like one or two things, or two dreams, let's say.
Yeah, for sure. One dream, of course, is to get to that UFC, but that's been something I've thought about for since I started training. And then in my personal life, I would just like to be at a place and financially free to where I can provide for not just for me, but for my family and eventually have my I still have no kids yet, but eventually have my own start my own family and get them financially free. That's a very big goal of mine. Especially nowadays, I don't want them to I don't want to be in a position where they have to struggle or anything. I want to give them a good life and stuff like that. So that's a personal goal of mine. And if we talking about for my career, of course, getting to the UFC belt. But also not just that, just showing like guys how guys have shown for me, like Martin, Joe, like a guy like a Max who's shown that you don't gotta leave Hawaii to accomplish great things in MMA, you know. Those are really like the main guys that keep me here because I want to show like yeah, Hawaii man, people over here they know how to fight and it's something that people in Hawaii just know how to do. And like I want to show that you don't gotta leave here to do great things in this sport. I want to show that we can do it here in Hawaii. We're home like there's so much talent here. Like there's just so much talent here, and I just want to showcase that like we got some of the best fighters in the world, and I just want to show that to the world pretty much.
And the more people will stay, the better like the gyms and overall the region will be. So I think that that is important that like many of the good fighters stay because the level in the Hawaii will like grow like in a very fast way, let's say.
Yeah, yeah, like it has grown. Like yeah, yeah, the more people who stay, the better everybody's gonna get. There's so many high level guys, man. It's crazy to think about. There's just regular people walking around who could do this at a high level as well here, man. It's just the Hawaii that we were people. This is if you ever been here, if you ever been around people from Hawaii, you just know like this is a place where people they just naturally know how to fight, and the more talent we can get, the better. And I just want to show like I'm not just the only one. There's so many people here who can do this at a high level.
And getting back to your fight, what is like official prediction in this fight?
My prediction is I go in here and I pick them apart on the feet. I make it hard for them, and I feel like I will get a finish. I feel I'll pick them apart, and I think probably maybe middle of the second round will probably be where I find that finish. Just from being too smart, too quick on the feet, and being a hard guy to hit there, and just doing things where he's not able to touch me and I'm touching him. I feel like by the middle of the second round, probably will overwhelm him a little bit, or I might find that shot. But I do believe in the second round the finish will come.
This probably would be great result because from one side you will get a finish and from the other side you will get like minutes in the cage, what is also important.
Yeah, yeah. Like I really like I train hard for 3 5s. I train for it all the time. But it's like yeah, I haven't been able to stay in there too long. I do want to stay in there longer and I want to get that time in because it helps. It does help a lot. That experience, those minutes in the cage, it's a big factor. So of course I do want more time in the cage.
And I have a last one question. If you have like unlimited amount of money and you could create any kind of business, but not anything connected with MMA, what kind of business would you like to start?
I would say probably like a barbecue business. I love food and barbecue is one of my main things. I like to grill. So a barbecue place, ribs, chicken, brisket, barbecue brisket, beans, stuff like that. I would love to start something like that. If I had all the money, I would start a barbecue business because, food is something that's always gonna be people always gonna want to eat, and I love barbecue, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people love barbecue, so it'll be some that'll work for sure. If I had money, that would be something I'll start.
So maybe in the future, like money from the bonuses from the UFC will help you.
Yeah, yeah, maybe it will because that is something I do want to do too, a food business barbecue. So, it might help with that for sure.
Okay, Anthony, so many thanks for the conversation. I'm really excited about your next fight, and I hope that you will fight much many more times in the 2025.
Thank you, Nick. I appreciate you for having me on. I hope so too. I want to stay active. Hopefully, if Fury is watching anybody from Fury, like as much as I can, please. I want to fight as much as I can. But yeah, I appreciate you for letting me take the time and interviewing me. I appreciate the opportunity. I appreciate talking to you. It was a very good conversation.